busted sending sophisticated computer parts to China. Now they're charged with evading federal export laws.
America, we just uncovered a sophisticated Chinese espionage operation on American soil. 4 men, including 2 men in Tampa, were arrested for smuggling cutting-edge NVIDIA AI chips worth nearly $4 million to China through a fake real estate company called Janford Realtor LLC. But here's what's absolutely shocking. These weren't just computer parts. These are the exact same military-grade processors that China needs to build weapons of mass destruction, advanced surveillance systems, and AI-powered military capabilities to challenge American dominance. The Justice Department says China is desperately trying to become the world leader in AI by 2030, and they're willing to break every law to get it done.
A plot to sell highly sophisticated computer equipment to China has been stopped right here in the Bay Area.
What is up, guys? Tyson DELACRUZ here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This case exposes how Chinese intelligence operations are running sophisticated smuggling networks right under our noses, using American cities like Tampa as a staging grounds for technology theft that threaten our national security. Let me break down this incredibly sophisticated operation. Hong Ning Ho, no, not the lunch special at the local Chinese restaurant, a 34-year-old U.S. citizen born in Hong Kong, registered Janford Realtor LLC in Tampa back in March 2023. On paper, it looked like a legitimate real estate business with an office at 4830 West Kennedy Boulevard, Suite 600.
This was a complete front. I mean, they weren't doing any real estate business there.
But here's the brilliant part of their cover. They never conducted a single real estate transaction like a lot of other licensed real estate agents. Not one house sold, not one property listed, not one legitimate business activity. It was a complete shell operation designed specifically to hide their technology smuggling activity from federal authorities. The sophistication of this operation is absolutely staggering. They established what looked like a legitimate business address, filled out the proper paperwork with the state, and created what appeared to be a functioning company. But it was all an elaborate deception to facilitate the largest technology theft operation the Justice Department has seen in years. What these Chinese men were smuggling wasn't just expensive computer equipment. These were NVIDIA graphics processing units specifically designed for artificial intelligence applications that have direct military uses. We're talking about A100s, H100s, and H2200 processors.
Some of these processors, Keith, cost tens of thousands of dollars. They're very sophisticated. They're very unique in their applications, and the government says that they pose a risk to national security because they were being sold to our adversaries.
According to the Justice Department indictment, China is seeking to use AI for military modernization efforts and in connection with the design and testing of weapons of mass destruction. These aren't just nerd gaming computers. These are building blocks for advanced military AI systems that could give China a strategic advantage over the United States.
China seeks to become the world leader in AI by 2030. Washington has put export controls in place to prevent China from getting advanced AI chips from NVIDIA.
The timing of this operation is particularly significant. China publicly stated its goal is to become the world leader in AI by 2030, and they're using these stolen American technologies to build advanced surveillance systems and weapons platforms. Every chip they successfully smuggled brought them closer to that particular goal. The financial scope of this operation is staggering as well. Federal prosecutors have traced nearly $4 million. $4 million in wire transfers from Chinese companies directly to the conspirators' accounts. This wasn't some small-time operation. This was an industrial-scale technology theft.
The DOJ claimed that in total, the men sold as many as 350 NVIDIA chips and 10 HP supercomputers.
2 Chinese companies sent more than $2 million directly to Janford's Realtor's Tampa bank account, while another $1.9 million went to Brian Curtis Raymond's Alabama-based electronics company. Raymond, the 46-year-old CEO of ByteWorks, was allegedly the supplier who provided the chips to the Tampa-based smuggling operation.
What in heaven's name is a realty company from Tampa sending GPUs to Malaysia and Thailand? It was a round peg in a square hole.
When federal investigators started following the money, the entire operation unveiled. Here's where this operation gets really sophisticated from an intelligence perspective. Instead of shipping directly to China and triggering export control alerts, they routed everything through Malaysia and Thailand first. This is classic espionage tradecraft designed to obscure the final destination.
They set up a shell company to export those chips. 3 of them have been detained and 1 has been released on bond. They're all facing up to 20 years in prison.
Between October 2024 and January 2025, they successfully smuggled 400 NVIDIA A100 GPUs to China through this Malaysia route. But their third and fourth shipments involving 10 Hewlett-Packard Enterprise supercomputers with H100 GPUs and 50 separate H200 GPUs were intercepted by law enforcement. The use of Malaysia and Thailand as transit points shows this was an amateur hour. These are established smuggling routes that Chinese intelligence have been using for years to circumvent U.S. export controls. The fact that they had operational knowledge of these routes suggests connections to a broader Chinese intelligence network. This operation involves sophisticated networks spanning multiple states and nationalities. Along with Tampa's Ho Ning Ho, we have Jing Qi, a 45-year-old Chinese national on an F1 student visa, also living in Tampa. Then we have Cham Li, a 38-year-old Chinese national operating at San Loreno, California, and Brian Curtis Raymond running the supply side from Huntsville, Alabama.
U.S. authorities on Thursday charged 2 Americans and 2 Chinese nationals for allegedly trying to export supercomputers and NVIDIA AI chips to China.
The geographic spread of this network from California to Alabama to Florida shows this was a coordinated operation with multiple cells working together. Each person had a specific role. Raymond supplied the chips, Ho and Lee managed the front company, and Chen helped coordinate the Tampa operations. What's particularly concerning is that Jin Qi was in the United States on a student visa, which raises some serious questions about Chinese intelligence using our education system to place operatives in strategic positions for technology theft operations. The Biden administration implemented strict exports controls on AI chips back in October 2022, specifically to prevent China from accessing this type of technology. But as this case shows, Chinese intelligence operations immediately began working to circumvent these controls through sophisticated smuggling networks. All 4 defendants are facing serious federal charges, including conspiracy to violate the Export Control Reform Act, smuggling, and money laundering. The maximum penalties for this are severe, up to 20 years in prison per violation. This sends a clear message that technology theft operations will face the full force of federal prosecution. U.S. Attorney Gregory Keyhole made the stakes crystal clear. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Florida is firmly committed to safeguard our country's national security. These defendants who wrongfully exported this sensitive technology are facing justice. This Tampa-based operation is just one piece of a much larger Chinese intelligence campaign to steal American technology and achieve military superiority. The Justice Department specifically noted that China seeks cutting-edge U.S. technology to become the world leader in AI by 2030.
NVIDIA CEO said the company's business in China is 100% out, saying it went from having a 95% market share down to 0.
Assistant Attorney General John Eisenberg called this a deliberate and deceptive effort to transship controlled NVIDIA GPUs to China by falsifying paperwork, creating fake contracts, and misleading U.S. authorities. This was an opportunistic crime. This was strategic intelligence warfare. The sophistication of creating fake contracts, establishing shell companies, and routing shipments through third countries shows this operation had significant backing and planning. We are likely looking at a Chinese intelligence operation that took months or even years to establish. America, this case exposes the reality of Chinese intelligence operations targeting our most sensitive technology right here on American soil. When Chinese operatives can establish fake companies in Tampa and smuggle $4 million worth of military-grade AI chips, we have a national security crisis that goes far beyond traditional espionage. The fact that they successfully smuggled 400 advanced processors processors before being caught means China now has access to American AI technology that could accelerate their military capabilities by years. Every chip they stole brings them closer to their goal of AI dominance by 2030. The use of a fake real estate company shows how sophisticated these operations have become. They're not just stealing documents or recruiting assets, they're establishing entire business fronts to facilitate large-scale technology theft. Lunch special Hing Nang Ho and Jing Che are now being held in Pinellas County Jail and facing up to 50 years in federal prison. Brian Curtis Raymond was arrested in Alabama, and Cham Lee was taken into custody in California. All four are facing some serious federal charges that could result in decades behind bars. The Justice Department's aggressive prosecution of this case sends a clear message to Chinese intelligence. We are not tolerating technology theft operations on American soil, but this case also shows how much work still needs to be done to protect our technology advantages. When Chinese operatives can operate sophisticated smuggling networks out of Tampa Bay office buildings using American companies and American citizens to steal technology that keeps us safe, we need to fundamentally rethink our approach to counterintelligence. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.